Virginia Board of Education voted to take control of Tyler County schools on Wednesday. According to the report, the board decided that the current Tyler County Superintendent, Shane Hiley's contract will stay valid through June 30th. The investigation into Tyler County schools was launched on March 3rd. Director of Accountability Alexandra Kreiner shared the findings from that investigation. The report has 4 focus areas, each with a series of non-compliance issues and another findings section. Some of the issues highlighted were a lack of communication, confidentiality, and concern for students' education or needs. Kreiner says WVDE received significant amounts of feedback after Tyler County's board decided not to renew Superintendent Hiley's contract at the start of 2025.
And this contrasted with the delegations of citizens who spoke in support of the superintendent, and both at that meeting and at board meetings subsequent to that. The students, staff, and community members expressed their support for the superintendent and called for some board members' resignations at those meetings. Communications and documents from staff and residents of Tyler County voicing their concerns started to pour into our office.
Tyler County Schools has now given up its authority over finances, personnel, federal programs, and other areas to State Superintendent Blatt. To read more about Tyler County's investigation report and its solutions, you can head over to WTAP.com. Turning to the weather now, it's a humid day. Meteorologist Kirk Greenfield joins us now with a look at your first alert forecast. Kirk?
It is an unusually warm day for May at this point, so early in the month. When we take a look at our current temperatures, we're in the mid to, the mid 80s at this point. Not a great deal of variation here, maybe only a degree or two around the area. The high mark West Virginia Skycam says 83 degrees, but it feels like 84 when you factor in 51% relative humidity. The winds out of the south-southwest, only 5 miles per hour. Well, it's a break from the storms today, but it's plenty hot. It'll be hot and humid to the end of the week. First alert weather day has been declared for Friday, and those storms may start to arrive as quickly as after midnight tonight. The evening planner, however, says partly cloudy at 7, mostly cloudy conditions developing, and by 1 a.m. we're cloudy and about 73. So when do the storms arrive? We'll take a look at that forecast when I return. Back to you.
Thank you, Kirk. Several people were without power in Lubeck after a crash took down a power pole. According to the Wood County Sheriff's Office, a semi-truck ran off the road and hit the power pole. No one was hurt in the crash. It happened at the intersection of Harris Highway and Lubeck Road around 7:40 a.m. A First Energy representative says around 1,500 people were without power. Crews with Mon Power worked to replace the pole, and the power was restored to all customers this afternoon. The Wood County Sheriff's Office, Camden Clark EMS, Mon Power, and Lubeck and Washington Bottom Volunteer Fire Departments responded to the scene. Washington County has made history with an important step forward for 911 dispatchers. 911 dispatchers in Washington County will be formally recognized as first responders based on a resolution passed by the Washington County Commission. Washington County 911 Director and former Wood County dispatcher Douglas Moore says this is exciting news for dispatchers in the county. He says the resolution highlights the psychological and emotional demands of being a first responder.
It's a good feeling, you know, with anything that brings light onto your career. It makes you feel good. I'm glad that we have supportive commissioners that are supportive of the dispatchers in the county. You know, that makes a big difference to have a good working environment. You know, this little, you know, it's a small gesture, but a big step in getting recognition.
Moore said the hope is to get the rest of Ohio and even the other 30 states who do not currently recognize dispatchers as first responders to follow suit. Law enforcement throughout Washington County and members of the community gathered this morning in Marietta for wreath-laying ceremonies as a part of National Police Week. The Peace Officers Memorial wreath-laying ceremony was at the Peace Officers Memorial at the corner of 3rd and Putnam Street in Marietta. Officers from the Marietta Police Department, Marietta College Police Department, and the Washington County Sheriff's Office laid wreaths at the memorial in honor of those who gave their lives in the line of duty. A similar ceremony was then at the Washington County Sheriff's Memorial on 4th Street in Marietta. Washington County Sheriff Mark Warden and Judge Randall Jedlink talked about the importance of today.
Officers, men and women, get up every morning, answer that call of service, never knowing, that call that could take their life. So we owe a huge gratitude to those names and the families left behind.
Absolutely, and it's more than just the officers you see out here today. Obviously, this also includes corrections officers. They work over at the jail. It includes probation officers, all the people that take time out of their day and they devote their lives to helping make sure that we can all live safely in a society, built around rules and laws.
Sheriff Warden and Judge Jedlink say they are grateful for the community's support of their local law enforcement. Race fans in Wood County can now look forward to some action coming from the West Virginia Motor Speedway. 2 brand new owners plan to rebuild the track and hope to begin racing again by late August. Our Peyton Brooker hit the track in Mineral Wells.
An announcement by the West Virginia Motor Speedway plans to give new life to the track. On the Speedway's Facebook, it was announced that Mike and Becky Hurley from Goldvine, Virginia, have now acquired the ownership of the racetrack.
So we recently sold our business that we had here in Virginia, and basically looking for something to stick our energy into. And what better thing to put your energy into than a fabulous childhood memory, which is West Virginia Motor Speedway.
Mike Hurley is a native West Virginian and has been a part of the racing scene across the state as well as Virginia and Pennsylvania since 1988. The announcement is also following Hurley's plan to acquire Elkins Raceway at the end of the year. Mike says with the purchase, the plan is to build a new racetrack.
What we're going to do is we're going to utilize the front stretch, and we're going to build in I think it's penciled as a 3/8, but it's actually a large quarter-mile racetrack, and probably going to do a lot of the racing on the new racetrack. And we're going to leave the old racetrack, which is the large track, viable should a series want to run the larger track. So it's actually going to be 2 racetracks in one.
Hurley plans to have the short track completed by mid-June. He's also hoping to get some short track racing in this summer by the end of August.
I really want to stress this is going to be a racetrack. It's not going to be a concert venue. It's not going to be a roller skating ring. It's not going to be a warehouse. It's a racetrack. And we are going to race. We're going to get to experience a new side of racing. We've owned racetracks before, and I'm very familiar with the landscape. I'm very familiar with the thick skin that you got to have when you're a racetrack promoter, and we're super excited. The area of the Ohio Valley is full of wonderful race people, and we look forward to integrating ourselves into that for sure.
This is Peyton Brooker in Mineral Wells, WTAP News. This is home.
Still ahead, the Washington County Health Department helped kick off Click It or Ticket. That story is next at 6.
Sunny and hot day in the Mid-Ohio Valley may lead to a few thunderstorms, possibly severe after midnight. That's next.
Tonight's news poll is sponsored by Baker & Baker Jewelers and by the Basement Doctor of West Virginia.
One thing I'm especially proud of being a member of the pediatric hospitalist team here at WVU Children's with Camden Clark is that we have the capability and the infrastructure that we can safely take care of your child here, and we're very proud of that.
At Jandil's Attorneys at Law, we help our clients get the compensation they deserve. But don't take our word for it. Just listen to our clients.
I was involved in a car accident, which was not my fault. When I hired Jandil's, they told me that they would work with me to get the best outcome for the case. To everybody that has any kind of injuries, any kind of accidents, contact Jan Dills and her attorneys.
Hi, I'm Jan Dills, and our team is here to help. Call us today.
Would you buy a life insurance policy if you knew your rate increased every 5 years? What if $9.95 a month bought you less than $1,000 in protection? Sadly, many policies that seniors buy today fail to mention this in their advertisements. You could buy a policy that might not give you enough coverage when you need it the most. Call now to receive free information on the Senior Care Plan from Senior Life Insurance Company. The Senior Care Plan guarantees your rates cannot increase, your benefit will never decrease, there's no medical exam, and you will have lifetime coverage. You could qualify for up to $30,000 in whole life protection. With the Senior Care Plan, your coverage can start immediately, unlike other policies that don't give you full coverage for 2 years. By calling now, you'll lock in the lowest rate possible. Call now for your free information on the Senior Care Plan from Senior Life. You have no obligation. Call now.
When it comes to our kids, we want less sniffles and more giggles. So when they're sick, just walk into Camden Clark's Pediatric Rapid Care and have a visit with one of our board-certified pediatricians so they can feel better fast. Open daily from 8 to 8.
Click it or ticket is a phrase you can see on road signs while you're driving. The Washington County Health Department has teamed up with the Ohio State Highway Patrol to help educate the public about seatbelt safety. Our Jason Livia has more.
Click it or ticket. It's a phrase you've probably seen countless times while out on the road. On Thursday, the Washington County Health Department partnered with the Ohio State Highway Patrol to brief the public on seatbelt usage. Master Trooper Caleb Corson with the Ohio State Highway Patrol talked about what the law says, statistics on its usage or lack of, and questions people had on the topic. He says a good question asked on Thursday was about the difference in wearing a seatbelt improperly and not wearing one at all.
Wearing your seatbelt incorrectly in the state of Ohio is the same as not wearing it at all, the way the law was written, because it says that you have to use all available components properly adjusted. So if you're not wearing a portion of that seatbelt, it's a violation, which was a very great question, and a lot of people don't know that.
He says right now the compliance rate on proper seatbelt usage statewide is around 85%, but they want to get that number higher.
And we're obviously just trying to drive that number as far north as we can. 100% would be ideal, but maybe not obtainable, so any increase is still going to save lives.
Corson adds that people should wear seatbelts not just for themselves, but for their family.
And you shouldn't not wear your seatbelt for you. Wear your seatbelt for your family members or your grandkids or your kids. And the last thing they want is for you to be injured in a traffic crash. So just do it for them instead of doing it for yourself.
Washington County Health Department Safe Communities Coordinator Amanda Lemaster says the most impactful part of Corson's brief today was the numbers on seatbelt enforcement.
The numbers, the astronomical numbers that he came up with, he was very educational about seatbelt awareness.
You can find more information on the statistics on seatbelts at WTAP.com. In Marietta, I'm Jason Livia with WTAP News.
Now, here's your first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Kirk Greenfield.
It's an extremely warm day in the Mid-Ohio Valley, setting the stage for possibly severe storms over the next 24 hours. Let's take a look at the Jan Dills Marietta Skycam atop the Lafayette Hotel. Not a bad view. We're at 83. It feels like 84. The relative humidity is 51%. The wind's out of the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour. Looks like we've got a wasp or an insect flying around the lens here. We're going to have to shoo them away. The current temperatures, you can see they are all pretty much 83 to 85 in the area. Not too bad at all. When we take a look at the 24-hour temperature change, we're a good 9 to 12 degrees warmer than we were yesterday at this same time. Now, the temperatures are expected to drop off into the 40s as we go. As we get into the overnights and into tomorrow, temperatures will be coming back up after some initial showers pass through. We'll be back into the 80s, as you can see, but all of a sudden, look at the greens move in. The cooler temperatures as we get into late Friday. That's the second wave, the cold front that's coming through, and that will dramatically decrease our temperatures as we get into Saturday. The highs will be limited into the 70s. The warm front has already passed through, so we're tracking through what's known as the warm sector here. That's where all the moisture and the heat comes up from the south, and then the cold front that's pinwheeling around that vigorous low is going to back clean up, and that'll bring those showers and storms. The convective outlook, as you can see, we're in the enhanced category here. That's been expanded into our area today, and so we must watch this carefully because of the potential storms and the risks. As you can see, the greatest risk will be damaging winds in the area, although there's also going to be concern for hail and much less risk of tornado, but it's still there. Pollen levels washed down tomorrow by some of those downpours will rebound as we get into the weekend, with grass being the predominant pollen as we head into this weekend. Futurecast suggests that we'll be seeing some clear skies for a while. The first wave goes through overnight on Friday. It looks like second and third arriving as we get past midnight. So it does look like we're going to be seeing a couple of close calls here if they don't actually deliver. You must stay alert to this. That's why there's a first alert weather day declared for tomorrow. Now tonight, 70 for the low, scattered storms after midnight, possibly severe. 85 for tomorrow, partly cloudy with the storms arriving late afternoon into the evening. That's the first alert weather day. Showers on Saturday, and then on Sunday and Monday, it looks like we're capped only into the mid-70s or so, but there's another chance of significant showers and storms next work week as well. Phyllis?
Thank you, Kirk. Still ahead, the new classification system for school sports in West Virginia will start during the next school year. That story is next at 6.